Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Hi,
Hello.
Benisa. How are you?
Good, good. Not good as you. Look at that view and spring in February.
It is so hot here in South Florida. Yeah,
Oh, I feel our
beautiful
winter
night.
is like we didn't have a winter this year. We had like 2 days of winter, I see.
Oh, wow. This is so interesting because we here in South Florida experience a little bit of warm, cold, warm, cold. It's very strange, but I like the sun. That's the most important part.
Me too.
Yay. All right. So while we're waiting for some folks to come on, because I see the numbers are ramping up, and I know people always like to be on time, but I do understand sometimes technology might take a little while to zoom on. So let's chat amongst ourselves while we wait. And I'm delighted to be here. And today, obviously, the topic is for us to how to influence and persuade your clients to get the listing today. Is that correct, Benisa? Is that what we're here for?
Give
Hello?
me just a second to double check, but I believe
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's what I have. So that's a good thing. And
Yes, that is the one.
okay, perfect, perfect. So that's wonderful. It's good to know that everybody's here and wanting to see that. I want some feedback before we get started. So we hit the nail right on the head. If we could get 5 people to volunteer right now to step up and tell us your name, what part of the world you're in, and why you are here. What is it that you'd like to achieve on this call today? 5 people. Please, if you would, Benisa, allow them to come on up.
Yeah, if they can just raise their hands, we will want to speak.
5 people. The lucky five. All right. So, do we have some folks?
We have Eric.
Hello, Eric Glazenberg here from Toronto, Canada.
Hi, Derek. How are you,
It-
my friend?
It's Eric with an E.
Eric. Eric. Okay. Thank you, Eric, for correcting me on that. I blurred a little bit, but good to have you. Thank you for being here in Toronto. And
Okay.
tell us, uh, how long have you been in the real estate business and why are you here?
Sure, I've been in this glorious real estate business for 18 years now, and I'm here because you can always learn new tips and tricks, and I'm always open to education. So, hoping to at least get one great tidbit out of today's seminar, if not a whole lot more.
All right. Well, wonderful. Well, we definitely can guarantee that you're going to get something useful. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So remember, at the end of this time together today, which should take about maybe 40 minutes or so, depending on participation, you would definitely give us a feedback on what you've learned and is it permanent learning or temporary learning? Is that okay?
Sounds good.
Wonderful. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Two, three more people. Tell us where you're from and why are you here?
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey, my name is Juan Carlos. I'm from Toronto, Canada as well. I've been in the industry part-time for about 2 years, full-time just this year.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking to try and see how um I guess to build a foundation for myself to I mean I guess to get more leads and clients specifically in in the listing side of things. Yeah, like as a brand new realtor essentially just trying to get as many skills in my toolbox as possible.
That's wonderful, Juan. And where are you in Canada, you said?
Toronto.
Toronto as well. A lot of folks from Toronto. That's wonderful. Well, Juan, thank you very much for being here. And we are definitely grateful to give you the opportunity to learn a few things today, how to influence and persuade your clients to get the listing today. So there's a few things that you have to put in place. And most realtors don't have access to this information because it's just not clearly given in our brokerage firms and in the schools that we go to because we're considered to be an entrepreneur. So you need to have these skill set. But I'm going to show you a few things today. We're going to role play. We're going to test a few techniques that work, proven techniques, and you'll see it. So who else would like to come up and say hello? We have time. It's okay.
We have a couple of people in the chat, but apparently no one wants to come and talk with us.
Okay, maybe they can. Come
I
on.
see.
Who wants? So far we have two volunteers, which is Eric and Juan, and we're going to need people. So that's great. There is a question. I'm ready to volunteer. Why am I here?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, can
Yes.
you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay,
So,
it's Peter Mizukin.
hi, Peter.
I'm from Brampton, beautiful Brampton, Ontario, which is just northwest of Toronto. So in case you didn't know.
Mhm.
But I'm here for similar reasons what Eric mentioned. I've been in the business for over 20 years, and I'm always looking at what's current and how we can take it to the higher level. And also, I'd like it to be not so much of a grind. Um, Last year was a real grind. The previous 3 years were my three best years ever. And just want to find a way to get back into the flow of things.
That's really nice. Thanks for sharing that, Peter, because what you're saying is what can you do in your business right now to make sure that it's not so much of a grind, so much hard work to get people influenced and persuaded to do business with you. Well,
That's
how
right.
can piece of cake? Well, there is a way. I've personally been doing it for more than 30 years. That's 3 decades. Put your finger up, 3 decades, and I'm going to show you just how to do that. So two more people, come on up because people are still coming in, and we want to allow them. We're only 7 minutes in. Two more people, tell us where
Yes.
you're from. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Shahzad Inayat from Century 21, People's Choice. I am here in Guelph and Kitchener-Waterloo area in Ontario. I am in real estate for about 13 years, little more than 13 years, and I am here to maybe refresh my listing skills, learning, trying to see what is currently working in the market, and also probably if you can give us some any tips about generating seller leads. Like that's also very important. It doesn't matter if we have all the skills, and if we don't have any leads, then there is no point.
Right. Absolutely. That is so true. Absolutely. All right. Well, Benisa, if you would allow me to, talk about the seller leads, do Agent Locator does have the ability to provide seller leads. Is that correct or incorrect, Benisa?
That is absolutely correct. Yes, so we do have our own homework pages that we use to basically generate both Google and Facebook leads for you. And you are probably all familiar with how the home value or homework pages work. So that is basically our main tool. And one tip that I can give basically all of you here is that it's not always just generating sellers, it's always trying to extract sellers from your buyers as well, because buyer leads are always cheaper than sellers, and for a lower budget you can get a lot more leads, but absolutely always try to extract as many sellers as possible from your buyers. I'll see if we have some materials on that, and I'll make sure to include whatever we have on that topic into our replay email, just so you have a bit more tools that you can use for that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So
Thank
that
you.
was a great comment for you, Charles. And look out because stay to the end. You're going to get an opportunity to have this information from Agent Locator, and you'll also be able to have a free coaching call with Successful Business Academy. Andrew wants to talk about getting listings. Go ahead. Why not? Is that Andrew? Who else wants? One more person, and then I'm getting started.
I got Andrew here, and Danielle. We have now 2 additional volunteers, if
Oh,
that's okay.
sure. That's fine. That's fine. I love it. Interactive is good. Come on, guys. Tell us why you're here. What's your name? Where are you from? And why are you here?
Hi, Paul. My name is Danielle Aguilera. I'm from North Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I am here to talk about competing for listings, and also, of course, finding more leads. I think the biggest thing for me is it's a highly competitive market here in Vancouver, and it seems as though consumers are continuing to interview interview their realtors, which isn't the problem, but I'm not one to overpromise on pricing. I base my numbers on the market. I always back everything with extensive research research and information. But if another realtor comes in and promises a much higher number than me, they always tend to get the listing over me.
Of course. Well, there's a way that you can show and shine amongst them stronger than ever, and that's with strong selling skills. And for those of you who are aware, I am the author of the 5 Steps of the Sale, and that's why I work with Agent Locator for many years now. I'm a subscriber to Agent Locator, and we have love amongst each other. So that's why I'm here to give you the goodies. And Danielle, don't worry, pay attention, please. Just focus. This is not easy to grasp, but we're going to give you the best that we can, and plus you'll get resources. So
Perfect. Thank you.
Pleasure. And one more person? I heard Andrew. Is that right?
Yeah, Andrew, but he's not unmuted for whatever reason. If
Okay.
not, we have a different one. Someone just wrote in the chat.
The numbers are rising, so we've got to give people a chance to be here. We can't start without them. The numbers are rising on our end here. A lot of attendees. So one more, and then I have to get started because then we're 10 minutes in.
Here's Ramin.
Okay, hi, Ramin.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ramin. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and been in business for about a year and a half. I'm here to basically pick up some advices how I can market myself to get some leads, because I have done a lot of advertising, door knockings, farming, whatever you name it, but I haven't got my phone to ring, not even once. I don't know what the problem I'm running to, and I'm trying to figure that out.
All right.
And
Definitely
also,
understand.
yeah, I have another meeting which I have to drive to, and unfortunately I have to leave by 1:45, but I'm here to pick up as much as I can.
All right. By
We
quarter.
will also send you a recording just so you can, later go back to the parts you missed.
Right.
Thank you.
And with that being said, inside of the link right now, let's go ahead and before you go anywhere, your Brote call the calendar is there. So Romain, you can just click on that before you go, and anybody else. But at the end, we're going to provide you with the link that's there and a QR code. Let's get started because I'm hearing a lot of commonalities here. What we're hearing is that a lot of folks are saying, hey, I want to get more leads. And not only do I want to get more leads, but I want to be able to convert the leads because there's a lot of competition out there. How can I separate myself from the rest of the listing agents? But not only that, but how can Eric is saying, it is Eric, right? Eric said, work smarter. Is that you, Eric, that says work smarter? I think so. And Peter, it's not Peter, right? Work smarter, work easier. How can you have such an impeccable sales presentation that it causes the client to be not only influenced and persuaded, but even seduced? And I'm not meaning in a sexual way. I'm talking about seduced so much so they're like, whoa, I just really, really like being with Eric. I really love Daniela. I don't want anybody else. Can you do it? Yes, you can. And I'm going to show you just how to do that today. So let's get started with our slides. Everyone is seeing the slides okay? Yes, you see a slide right now. It says time to grow. Today's topic, how to influence, persuade your clients to get the listing today. Do you see that? Just someone tell me that you're able to see me. You can shout it out. Benisa, are you there? Can someone tell me you're seeing the screen?
Yeah, we're seeing your screen.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. All right. So what are we going to do in the next 60 minutes or 45 minutes? We're going to find the best assets to move clients forward. And what are assets? Assets are, one, your attitude. That's your mindset. Two, your ability to influence and persuade someone. Your selling skills. Those are your assets, and you need to have them. We're going to discover that. You're going to learn how to influence someone and persuade them and even seduce your clients. Why do you need to do this? Well, because the competition is fierce. And not only that, but when you do get a lead, a buyer lead, seller lead, you really, really need to know how to handle that person so you can convert them and feed your family and not pass on opportunities. You're going to see currently what we are doing. When I say we, we're talking about Agent Locator. We're talking about Successful Business Academy. Me, I'm a realtor myself. I'm a real estate broker. If you were to look things up, you'll see that I'm the CEO for PRA and Company Realtors. You could Google it. So one of the things I like about my leadership style is that I am here. I'm 14 years in the military, and I like to lead by example. I'm not a broker that sits behind the desk and say, hey, go out there and get the deals. I'm in front. I'm getting the deals. I'm showing you how it's done. So, and I like to do that, and I'm grateful for my help to do so. So we're going to show you what we're currently doing. We're going to jump into a fast track of the technologies that work. And that's where Agent Locator comes in. You really want to get with Benisa for her to show you how to get these seller leads and how to keep your CRM stocked with nice, lovely leads, because you have to cultivate them. And then we're going to bring it all together. As we sum things up, I like to end by saying, okay, what did you learn? What's your takeaway? So please get a pen and paper, write things down, because I'm doing so. I'm taking notes of who needs what. And I have names here: Eric, Shazad, Peter, Daniel, Andrew, Romain, and anybody else. I'm here for you. Plus, we're going to give you a bonus gift at the end, so you'll have that coaching call with me. There's no obligation. So what do you see there? That QR code, you could get that QR code and discover. My name is Paul Atkinson, and the R is best to put when you Google me, Paul R. Atkinson. If you don't put the R for my middle name, it's going to show a basketball player. I'm not a basketball player. I'm the author of The 5 Steps of the Sale. I also have my first book, which is called The Art and Science of the Real Estate Agent Day 1, Close the Deal. And why I wrote that first book is because I wanted to make a pocket guide for my realtors inside of my brokerage firm. And the first day that I got my license in 2003, November, I was able to close my first deal. And ever since then, it's been 6 and 7 figures. And I'm not here to show off. I'm here to inspire you and let you know that there is a particular technique that you can use to close deals. Number one, it's your attitude and your mindset. Number two is your selling skills. So how did I discover selling was easy, or influencing people were easy? That's me over there, and this is Bob, and Bob was my supervisor. Bob was a cool guy. As you can see, his rank is a little bit higher than me. He has 3 and I have 2. We were recruiters for the United States Navy, and I was one of the top recruiters. Every year you could count on Paul R. Atkinson getting these awards. And what happened behind my struggle was real. When I first started, if you know about the military, this little ball means that I'm an electrician. I was in the ship underneath the water, basically in the engine room, and I was an electrician. But in 1992, President Clinton came into the office in the United States, and he decommissioned my ship. When he decommissioned my ship, I was on vacation, and my boss actually volunteered me for recruiting duty. I was highly upset, but he says, Paul, you're articulate. Wait till you see how it works. I was in heaven, match made in heaven. I'm not an electrician. I'm better as a salesperson, and so I've been for 30 years now. But I was struggling at first. I really didn't know how to close these deals. Matter of fact, I really struggled. I couldn't get people to sign the dotted line. I cried. I felt bad. I was 20-something years old. And then I figured something out. And what we figured out is what I'm going to show you. The book, The 5 Steps to the Sale, this one here. I'm not here to promote anything. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to make you aware of what you don't have. You don't have. And pay close attention, because I've used the same techniques to sell the United States Navy, to sell computers, to sell cars, to influence people to buy life insurance products, to close real estate deals even as early as the very first day that I got my license. How do I do that? It's a 5-step process. You could break it down to 4 steps if you really pay attention. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Influencing. And we're going to role play. We're going to role play because I always like to say you can test the pudding. Why do you use persuasion, influence, and even seduction with your clients? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to persuade them and influence them? Because just like Daniela, you say, hey, you know, it's competitive. You want to grow and build your business. You also want to get more closings. That's why you need to influence and persuade them so you can grow your business and get more closings. You want to build strong relationships. You want to get constant weekly referrals. You want to be able to walk into your office on a Monday, ring, ring, ring. Hey, Eric, hey, Peter, I was referred to you by such and such. That's what you want, isn't it? Well, if that's the case, then you need to make sure you have the right skill sets. You want to build the best reputation that you possibly can. That means you should be creating some kind of review system that as you go through these 10, 15, 20 years, people could look back and say, okay, you are 3.9, you are 3.9, you are 4.9, you're 5.0 with stars. You want to fight for those reviews and get them to be 5.0 or at least 4.7 minimum. So why? Why do you want to be able to do this? On a scale of 1 to 10, let's take a quick poll, and we're going to show inside of the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your selling skills? I'm talking about your ability to influence someone right now. Is there room for improvement or not? And be honest with yourself. So on a scale of 1 to 10, everyone pay attention to the chat. Look, we've got 7s, we've got 5s, we've got 5, 6, we've got 8. 8 is good. 7s, keep going, guys. Put them in the chat. A lot of people are here, and I'm sure everyone can see this. If you can't see it, I'm telling you, there's a lot of folks that are common numbers 7. 7, 7s, 5, lowers, all of that. Okay, no problem driving. Be careful. Just listen to us. Don't text and drive. All right. So we all are showing that we can use a bump or two. We can go from a 7 to an 8, an 8 to a 9, a 9 to a 10. But what does it mean? Eric said, I did amazing last year. That's what he said. But he also said, man, I had to bust my tail to do that. That is not what you really want to do. And Eric is right. He's saying, I don't want to come into 2024 to bust my tail. And let me tell you what. You do not want to get some kind of problems with your health. I've seen friends in the 30 years I've been an entrepreneur now work so hard, they knock on wood, God bless, they develop a stroke, something happens. All these things, you got to take care of yourself. You're not supposed to be working harder and harder and harder as you grow as an entrepreneur. You're supposed to be working smarter and smarter and smarter. It's supposed to become easier. And with these techniques, I have been able to work easier. And it's my pleasure to give it to you today. So now, what are the proven techniques? Has anybody ever heard or seen the book, The 5 Steps to the Sale? Has any one of my former students here, Manny or anybody, Michael, anybody, have you heard of the 5 Steps to the Sale? Nope. Keep going. Anybody at all? If you heard of the 5 Steps to the Sale, if there are any yeses out there, I'd be really interested to know. Okay, look at that. No, nobody has. But yet, this is something that is vital to your success. Isn't that interesting? Thank you, Agent Locator. Thank you, Successful Business Academy, for allowing me to be here today to talk to you about that. These proven techniques are going to allow you to influence, persuade, and even seduce your clients. To give you the listing now, get your pen and paper. There is a 5-step process for you to influence someone. The first step is conversation, this one. And in this particular step, you need to put your prospect at ease and get them to like you and to listen to you. You've got to get a connection with your prospect. And we're going to do something on the spot right now that I'm going to show you how you can handle something like this. So now, Benisa, can you share your screen and write on the board? And I'm going to need a volunteer, right? I'm going to stop sharing my screen. in conversation. Now, I'm going to show you how you could use a technique called the association technique to get a person to like you, listen to you, trust you, and believe in you. And you could do this over the phone. If you're in front of them, you can use another technique that's called the mirroring technique. NLP, great, good stuff, wonderful stuff. You can use the mirroring technique to get them to like you as well. If you're in front of them on the phone, doesn't matter. You could use psychological reciprocity to get them to like you as well. And that's where you build the connection by giving them credit for their beliefs, and they're morally obligated to give you credit for yours. So right now I'm going to show you something that is of value to you, and it's being recorded. Who will be my seller? And I'm going to call you, and I want you, and Benisa, give me the name, please, of the seller, if you would share the screen, and just do a whiteboard and just write a first name, a last name, put a phone number of anywhere you want. I don't care. You can make it up. Benisa, if you could do that for me, that'd be great. All right? You can make it up, because I don't want to do it. I want somebody else to do it. So you could catch me off guard, so to speak. So I need a name. You could share the screen, right, Benisa?
Yeah.
Okay. So you just bring up a whiteboard and we're all looking. I don't see it yet. Okay, there we go. And then just type in, click the type button so you can type, yeah. And put any name that you want me to deal with. I'm going to call somebody by their first name, last name, and give me a phone number. If you don't mind, if you could give me a phone number that has a area code for somewhere in the United States, I'd be grateful, because I would,
I mean, no,
Yeah.
you don't want to be involved. Let me find one.
All right. And just put any phone number you want. You could make it 555-1212, but the area code.
No,
And then
I don't want to.
make up an email and use whatever carrier you want. Doesn't matter.
What do you use in the US? I'm
Okay.
gonna go with Rogers because that's Canadian. That's the only thing I know.
All right. That's fine. No problem. No problem. All right. So, are we ready? This is conversation, the first step of the sale. I need to get my client to like me, listen to me, trust me, and believe in me. Got to take a deep breath, because I'm nervous. After 30 years, I'm still nervous. So can you imagine, you who don't really know how to use this technique, you must be terrified. But that is why you get to learn the technique and you practice, practice, practice. It's very important. So who will be the role play person that's going to come? Give me a voice. Who's going to pretend to be Crystal? And I'm going to call her to get as a seller. She's a seller. I'm going to get connected with her.
We have Tammy here already. I invited her.
Tammy? Okay. All right.
Okay.
Hi, Tammy. You're going to be very good. You're going to be Crystal today, and I'm your seller, and I'm calling you. So, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to go back and forth. Okay. So, Benisa, when you stop sharing this screen, maybe copy this so you could paste it back, or everybody can remember that, because we're going to use this to go through the whole process of the 5 steps of the sale. All right. Step 1 is conversation. I am calling Tammy, and Tammy, you're a seller, and I'm going to call you. Please answer the phone. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. Is this Crystal?
Who's this?
Hi, Crystal. This is Paul Atkinson. I'm with PRA and Company Realtors, and the reason I'm calling today is because your property has expired or canceled in the MLS, and I have some very valuable information for you about getting the right buyer. It will only take 5 minutes. Is this a good time, or should I call back later?
No, I've got 5 minutes, sure.
Crystal, thank you so much. And I tell you what, I will never forget your name, because I love the name Crystal. It reminds me of Christmas. I always want to get a chandelier in my home. I'm telling the truth. It's really so. But one more thing I noticed, I just want to verify. Your email is crystalm@rogers.com. Is that correct?
Yes. How do you know all this?
Well, because I'm the best realtor in the community. And I make it my job to know what's good for you. But I wanted to comment because not only is your name familiar to me, but also the Rogers.com, my very dear friend Indra, she had the same email and she's from Canada. So I totally get it. But that's not why I'm here. I wanted to get connected with you real quickly and
Okay.
let you know that I do have some really good information about getting your property sold for the price that you want. But are you still wanting to sell? Because I'm not sure.
Great question. Well, I don't know. I've already gone through two other realtors. So how are you going to sell it versus the other two that have?
Well, I really don't know, but I tell you what, Crystal, I am one of the best realtors in the community. I've been doing it for many years, and I know how to market. I know how to go after the right buyers. There's a couple of things that we could do. And the best thing for me to do is to stop by and see. There's no obligation. I just want to stop by. The address is 123 Sycamore Street. I stop by, get a feel of it. I just need to know what's going on. And then I could tell you what I can see, what I could be doing. If that's okay with you, it'll take 15 minutes. I could stop by tomorrow or Friday. What would be okay for you?
I'm not sure. I'm going to have to speak with my husband.
Wonderful. Well, why don't you do that? And I will go ahead and we're going to time out right here. Time out, time out. So that's wonderful. The connection. Tammy, go
Yes.
back into your normal role. Do you feel that psychologically Paul Atkinson, right now connected with you or not?
Yes, absolutely, for sure. Your
Tell them why.
enthusiasm.
Tell them why.
Why? Well, your enthusiasm, your connection with my name, the email. Uh, that's how I feel connected.
Isn't that interesting? Yet, many people are not aware of these techniques that are so simple. Interesting, interesting, right? So this is what we train our realtors to do.
Uh-huh.
Is to take, because look at it, agent locator is giving you a lead, right? And it has this information that's pertinent, a first name, a last name. What can you associate with? So let's go back now. Thank you very much, Benisa. I'm going to share the screen back if you would allow me. And please remember, Benisa, when we come back to that. But I'm going
Okay.
to go back and share the screen and we're going to continue, right? So the 5 steps to the sale, what you need to do, you need to use conversation to get the client to like you, to listen to you, to trust you, and believe in you. You also, inside of this group of this step, you need to get a fact find. You need to find out what they want, what they need, and what their DBM is, their dominant buying motive. And I can't go in depth in all of that right now, but it's a feeling. It's a feeling that they get. It's an emotion. So you get their want, their need, and their feeling of what happens when they get what they want, they need. And finally, in this step, you must get what's called the authority to buy. She says her husband, that's where we're going next. My husband, I have to talk to my husband. You have to make sure you floss out the authority to buy. Eric, this is how things are going to be smooth when you have a systematic approach that you're practicing, learning, and using. Now, as we were talking, you could see the live demo. The next step after conversation would be curiosity. And I started to create curiosity from the beginning. Hello, my name is Paul Atkinson. I'm the best realtor right here. I'm with PR and Company Realtors. I have information about your property, how to get the best buyer, the best price. It will only take 5 minutes. Is this a good time? If you come off wrong from the start, you're not going to make it. And that is what. Now, here is a live feedback. Tammy, from your heart, what is real in what you've just felt in your emotions as a human being. How did you feel when the realtor Paul was calling you?
I felt connected for sure. I felt it was genuine, and I thought that, you've got some vital information that you're going to help provide me.
And that made you feel curious about this person, correct?
Correct. Very curious.
Ah, that is true. Thank you so much. Step 3 is conviction. And here is where the prospect will justify buying your product. Where do you think that's going to be? It's going to be at their dining room table. Now we could get back into the role play and let's just keep it right here. We're good. Let's get back in the role play because we have to demonstrate to everyone here. Tammy, let's get back into the role. Is that okay?
Yeah.
You were just saying that, oh, you in your mind, you said, man, I like this realtor. I mean, I really think I might want to consider listing it again. But I need to talk to my husband. And that's where we timed out. Remember?
Yes.
All right, good. So let me get back in the role. So, Crystal, I totally understand how you feel and you want to get your husband involved in this conversation. And I'm delighted. Would you like to do two things? It's two options. It's very easy and I'm not pushy. Do you want to have a Zoom call with your husband or you want me to come by, kill two birds with one stone, go ahead, see the house, get a feel of it, and tell both of you what I think? What would be more advantageous for both of you?
I think now that you put it that way and gave me the two options, I think it's best that you come by and, kind of show me around the house and what you think your expertise is and showing that to me and my husband. I think that's a good idea.
Okay, Crystal, thank you so much. And remember, I am not here to push anything on you. I've been doing this for so many years. I feel comfortable with my abilities to sell that house for your price and your terms. And that's what I'm there for. If you like me and you trust me and you believe in me and your husband is the same, and you can clearly see that I fit the bill, I'll be bringing my forms, I'll bring everything, and we can sign up. If you see anything different, I'll be walking away with my tail wrapped between my legs. Is that okay?
For sure, for sure. And you're funny too. Wow.
Yeah, I tell you, don't worry. I'm very good. And so tomorrow, what do you think? Should I come? What's your husband's name? How do I address him?
Jim.
Jim. Should I come like 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. when Jim is home and you guys have eaten? What's good for you?
I don't know. Maybe it's best I speak to him first.
All right, not a problem. I have my calendar right here. Today is Tuesday. Should I call you back tomorrow morning, like about 10 o'clock or about 2 p.m., which is the time right now?
Yeah, let's do tomorrow at 2.
I'll call you back tomorrow at 2, Crystal. Thank you so much. Here is my number. Blah, 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 blah. How do you feel right now, Crystal? Is there any questions that you might want to ask me before you go that your husband might ask you?
Oh, how much are you going to charge me for this? What's your
I'm gonna charge you whatever you're willing to pay for the services. So not to worry. I'm gonna bring my listing agreement and we're gonna go over everything. You're gonna see what the going rates are and you're gonna see what my value is, and then you'll be able to say, you know what? This is all I'm willing to pay you, Paul, because this is what you're worth. I'm okay with that. If
Wow.
you
Okay. All right. That's a good one too. I see. Okay.
okay, wonderful. So don't worry about the money because I'm here to save you money and make you money.
Oh.
Just to make you even curious, sometimes my sellers really like me so much, Crystal, I've even gone above the price that they were expecting to see. Can you imagine that? I'm
Wow.
not saying that's what I'm going to do for you. I don't know, but I pray that it will be. And if it is, would you be willing to give me all of the money that I get above the top that you want? Is that okay? No, I'm joking.
You almost had me there.
You can, but
Well,
I've done
listen,
it.
if
I've
you can
done it.
get me 1.3 million, you can have whatever you want.
You know what? I would take that listing sometimes when I analyze it and I feel strong about my buyer market. I can do it, but I need to see it. I really need to see it. So,
Okay.
so I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, no, you're going to call me tomorrow, you said.
Yeah, sorry. I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, wonderful. Time out and let's get out of the role. So, step one, let's go back. Conversation, get the prospect to like you, to listen to you, trust you, to believe in you. Then you get some information, and we call it a fact find. You make sure you get the authority to buy. You roll into curiosity, and you make them curious to hear your proposal. They've got to be hungry to hear your proposal. And if they don't like you and they're not listening to you, they cannot become hungry. How do you learn this? What school is out there to teach you? There's only one: Successful Business Academy. Again, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to make you aware. If you want it, click on the button and go and get it. If you don't want it, continue your own path and good luck. After step 2, you're going to go to step 3. And this is where you have to give your presentation, and it must be impeccable. So here's some tips for when you're doing your listing appointment. Your listing appointment must adhere to all learning styles. People learn from audio, people learn from visual, people learn from kinetics. So you've got to be able to have papers to hand out, a pen to give somebody to write notes with, a laptop that will show you, or a tablet, a PowerPoint presentation. You should be able to ask the sellers or your audience, does anyone here learn best by kinetics? Would you want me to stand up and move around? Would that be better for you? You got to know all of that. Now, inside of here, not only are you doing audio, visual, and all of that, but you have to make sure that you're stating what they want, need, and DBM is inside of here. And then finally, you have to give them what's called the undeniable truth. The undeniable truth is 3 things that you tell them that you've already told them. It's amazing. And then finally, you've got to do a bunch of trial closes along the way. So your trial closing, like, hey, would you like tomorrow or this? Would you like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m.? Those are alternate proposals. It makes a person hard to say no to you. It makes it very difficult for someone to say no when you give them an alternate proposal. So this is a state-of-the-art selling system. There's a lot to it, as you could see it. After you've given the trial close and the person says yes, 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 you're going to bypass step 4 and you're going to jump into step 5. The secret is when you do step 1, 2, and 3 very good, you get to bypass step 4, which is objection handling. Objection. Step 4 is a step that when you do steps 1, 2, and 3, and they have the desired effect, there's no need to create desire. Because objections are nothing more than just a question in disguise. But however, inside of this 5 steps to the sale, we teach you how to handle objections. When someone says, hey, you know what, I think I want to interview somebody else, or thanks for coming by, Paul. I just think that this is good information, but I have to consider it. Whatever it is, you need to know how to handle objections. But that's not what we're here for today. What we're here for is for you to know that there is a way for you to seduce, influence, persuade your clients to sign with you and give you the appointments. From the mere name, first name, last name, telephone number, email that agent locator gives you, you could create so much connection, so much curiosity, and get the listing appointment. Isn't that interesting? Very interesting. So these are proven techniques. I've personally been using them for many years. Just like you, I was struggling 30 years ago, 1993, when I started out, and I discovered as an electrician that there must be a systematic way for me to be able to carry out my selling skills. Now, this is important, and this is from the curriculum. As you can see, it's copyrighted here at the bottom. It says that, it's from the 5 steps to the sale, but we have a course, and this is part of something that I just wanted to share with you. What do you need to employ the 5 steps to the sale in your real estate practice today? What do you need? Take a look. You got to have the right perception. And that means it's not how you perceive things, it's how people perceive you. When you walk into a room, they are going to make a judgment normally, automatically, as human beings. We all do that. How do they see? What's your persona? What's your persona? Are you charismatic? Are you debonair? Or what's your art of seduction? I read this book by Robert Greene called The Art of Seduction. You actually can carry yourself a certain way that people are just mesmerized by you. So that brings up the next topic, dress and professionalism. Are you really looking proper as that $1.3 million listing agent? Are you really? Or is your shirt crinkled up? Or your nails not done? What is it? Are you not speaking articulately? Are you not flowing with the words? What is it? Are you able to build trust? Can you gain trust? Are you able to read the playing field? You walk into the listing appointment. Can you check out the place and kind of understand that the wife that's in the kitchen need to come sit at the dining room table, and you cannot present to one person. You need both of them to be there. Are you able to maneuver that? These are some of the common things that we see. Are you able to get two people sitting at the dining room table to present to because the authority to buy is needed? Are you able to look on a name, email, phone number and read the playing field? Read the playing field. What's their name? What's their email? What's their phone number? And build a connection from that. Are you able to use the association technique, mirroring technique, psychological reciprocity to build a connection with the people? So much so that they like you, listen to you, trust you, believe in you, and they will tell you what they want, what they need, and their DBM. And they will even tell you what's the authority to buy, who is a decision maker. Your mindset, you need your mindset. And we do something with our academy that's called the nuclear mindset. And that's every day that you get up, you're actually considering what's going on with yourself. And then you're doing what's called a PE expectation, positive expectations. You're actually looking at the appointment that you have for today. And you're saying it's going to have a good outcome. Every single event is going to have a good outcome. Practice, practice, practice. That's one of the things that you need. Now, here's a little facts, and you need to know this. You are, unfortunately, this is from the Harvard Business Review by a gentleman named Steve Martin. 7 reasons salespeople don't close deals. And take a look at it, take inventory. They say that, hey, we are not trusted. We don't know how to have a good conversation effectively. They say that we can't clearly explain how to solve the people's problem. We are too self-centered, especially realtors. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, this is a big one. I will call a realtor, a listing agent, and she or him is just too self-centered. They're like, my seller's not going to want that. You know, that kind of attitude, you can't have it. It's wrong. They have the wrong closing strategy. They don't know that in order for you to build a connection first and get them curious and then give them a great presentation is what closes the deal. And how do you practice that if you don't know it? They don't know how to alleviate the risk of buying their solution, and they can't establish a personal connection with the buyer. The first one alone, this one right here, step 1 in the 5 steps to the sale. If you cannot get step 1 completed, then you are up the creek. And not only that, but what we know for a fact is if you cannot connect with a client and get them to like you, listen to you, trust you, you should not move forward with the sale. That listing is not for you. That buyer is not for you. And it's okay. Isn't it? You can't win everybody. I've been in many meetings with people, prospective clients, and if I can't connect with them, I actually tell them. They say, you know what? Maybe I could refer you to Daniela because I'm sorry, I don't have a connection with you. What? Yeah, I was trying to build a connection, we were talking, but I just don't. And then they let the guard down, and then I get connected. You see, when I hook them like that, they always give me referrals, and my job for 30 years become easier and easier and easier. That's the ticket. So let's go to the next slide and we'll wrap it up. We have discovered right here, let's bring it all together, how to use a systematic approach to get clients to close with you and only you. How to get people to keep sending referrals to you, because if someone likes you, if Crystal likes me and her husband likes me and I'm connected with them, guess what's going to happen? They'll never forget that. I will always be there. If they're going to buy something else, they're going to want me to do it. How we can always get people thinking of us first is by making such a favorable impression and doing an amazing job. Finally, the facts and trends don't lie. And, what are the facts and trends? We just read it. It says that from many, many years, let me go back and give it to you. It says look, these are the facts and trends. This is the facts and trends. More than 70% of salespeople fail. In America, NAR, National Association for Realtors, says that more than 80% of realtors fail to succeed. Did you know that NAR has 1.6 million realtors, and probably Canada too? And only 80% of those realtors, only 20%, excuse me, 20% of the people are able to make a living? That's nonsense. And it gets even worse. Only 10%, 9 to 10%, do the research, are able to make $100,000 or more. That's in America. I don't know about Canada, but that's the facts. That's the trend. So as we discussed, now we're going to open up the floor. And I want you to pay attention to use your QR code and get that, set your appointment, because we're wrapping it up. And this is for you to ask me questions now. But look on the screen. Does anyone know the word serendipity? It's the occurrence and development of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. How do you get into constant serendipity? Let me tell you how. You're going to get into that by getting up in the morning and you're going to do your nuclear mind exercise. Plus, you're going to say your PE, which is positive expectations. How can you create the discipline after all this time? Most of us here are over the age 35. And scientists say that anyone over age 35 have a very hard time creating new habits unless you get into some kind of program or resources or a coach or mentor or push yourself every single day for at least 21 days or more. So that's the problem, guys and gals. We are up the creek because there's no school that's really giving us these techniques except one, the Successful Business Academy that I know of and I'm the CEO of. Not soliciting, just making you aware. I'm passionate about what we do. The floor is open. Let's go ahead, Benisa, please. Anybody that would like to ask questions, please do so. And remember, scan the QR code, and I'll also put it again in the chat. You are more than welcome to set a growth call where I will answer your questions one-on-one. Like, for example, a gentleman that had to go. Know, like, and trust. Great, thanks. Okay, we've got good stuff. Absolutely. You'll get recorded in 24 hours. Benisa, could you talk a little bit more about leads right now? And then is there anybody that wants to ask any questions before we wrap up in the next 5 minutes?
We have Andrew in the chat. He had quite a few questions, so I would like to invite him here just to discuss that first because he's been writing for the entire session and I don't want him to feel like we've been ignoring him.
All
That
right.
was
Right.
the first time.
Okay.
So how many expires did you get, let's say, last year?
Okay, how many expired? Who? What's the question? How many
How many
expired?
expires did you get last year?
Me?
Yeah, because I've used the scripts and it's, pretty hard to get through the script.
Okay. Okay. Well, for me, I can tell you the way to track my numbers would be on the screen. I'm going to show you something because what you're asking me right now is what is my work like? So let me find that for you. It's about 1.5 million, but it's recorded.
1.5 million commission or volume?
I'm sorry, 150 million in sales volume. 150 sales volume. So where is that presentation? Ah, the feast or famine. Okay.
So
Speaking
about
again.
five listings.
Oh, no. If you're asking for expired listings, you can get expired listing 3 and 4 a month.
No, I know, but you said you did 1.5 million in volume.
I did not. I did $150 million in sales.
Okay, it's different.
So, right, it is different. And I'm looking, as you're speaking, I'm looking for a chart that I could show it to you, but unfortunately, I can't put my hands on it right now. So here's what you should know. The proof is in the pudding. And when you get these expired listings, Andrew, are you capable of carrying on a presentation, a sales systematic approach like what you've just seen, or not? Are you capable of doing that or not? Because we can give you all the leads you want in the world, but if you're not able to convert them, you're wasting your time,
Listen.
everybody's time.
Yeah, 100%.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job. So, what is stopping you from getting these more business right now? What is in your way?
I'm doing all right. I mean, I'm doing okay. I'm not
Okay.
doing amazing, but I'm doing okay.
How can you become amazing? That's what you want to do. You're here because you want to be amazing. Is that correct?
Yeah, I
All
do it
right.
more. I
Okay.
just do it. I just do it more.
Beautiful. All right. So, Benisa, can we get him some more leads? And then Andrew, you could set a growth call. We could talk one-on-one, but if you don't need us, then continue to do what you do and build up your
Well, how I don't know what us is.
um, Successful Business Academy. If you'd like to meet with me one-on-one, you can. If that's okay. You don't have to be.
Yeah. I scheduled it.
Okay, wonderful. So I'll make sure that not another coach, but me will pay attention to Andrew because you're a VIP. What about Shazad? Who's
Yes.
not Shazad? And Tammy. Tammy should talk too. Shazad and then
Yes,
Tammy.
this is Shahzad here. So I have a question regarding the mirroring and matching technique. Uh, my second English is not my first language. It's my second language, and I'm not very fluent in it. But sometimes when I meet another person who is a new immigrant or whose English is kind of a little bit broken English.
Yes.
So should I do the same kind of like a broken English with him, or should I go my like whatever fluency I have with myself?
That's a very good question. But the big thing about using the mirroring technique is you never should get caught. Because if you get caught, and caught means that they feel that you're mocking them, you don't want to do that. You must go with something that you're comfortable with. So, I mean, I'm Jamaican, so I'll go with a dialect to build connection with another Jamaican. Wagwan, my brethren, oh yeah, I'll drop that, but I'm not gonna make it make them feel bad. Don't do that. You could mimic their behaviors. Like, if they're doing this with their hands, that's a mimicking. You don't have to really mimic their voice. If they have glasses on and you have one, put one on too. Put on your glasses, mimic them. If you're talking to them and they have the pen in their hand, then put the pen in the hand too.
Got
Hope that
it.
answers your question.
Yes.
Wonderful. Who else would like to have a question? Okay, what about, I see Tammy is here and she deserves an opportunity to speak because she helped us out as Crystal in the role play. Tammy, what is your thoughts so far? What's your takeaway?
Well, so far, giving a lot of tips and tricks. Was very appreciative. Thank you so much for doing that. For me, I don't, my issue isn't closing clients. I'm pretty good at that kind of stuff. It's just basically getting the leads, right? So I know that's on me. I just have to work harder and knock more doors and go into my database, I guess. Just have
Yeah,
to do the work.
oh yeah, it does. And if you've been in the business for a long time, you can get leads from Benisa. So I don't know if you subscribe to Agent Locator or not.
Yeah, so no, I haven't been in the business for long. I subscribe to Agent Locator, but maybe I'm not connected the way I should be connected.
Mhm.
Great question.
So Benisa, can you get a hold of Tammy, after this and give her some goodies because she's
Absolutely. I will look into your account, Tammy, to see what options you have currently set up with us. But either way, we
Okay.
have both Google PPC and Facebook ads available for our clients for lead generation. So we can definitely look more into options that would be suitable for you, of course.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No
pretty
problem.
cool. So next time I hear Tammy is gonna have like about $10 million of sales volume in
Yeah,
like
sounds good. Over 10 million. Come on, bring it on. We want more.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. I love it. Is there anyone else that would like to give some feedback? Please come up and speak. Or any question that let's go over it one more time. The 5 steps of the sale, is for you to have that connection, for you to build curiosity, for you to give that presentation impeccably, for you to bypass objections. But if you get objections, you should be able to handle them. You should be trained to handle them. And objection is nothing but just a question in disguise. And then the close, and the secret to close is just, you've got to know about how to close the deal. And it's very, very important that you know how to close the deal. So anybody else that would like to give their takeaway? I would love to hear Eric, if he's still around. Eric or Peter, what's your takeaway? Did you gain anything from this? Is there anybody else, Vanessa?
Eric is no longer here. I think he had to leave, and Peter is here. So let's hear from him.
Thank you, Peter. You have to unmute your mic, Peter. Can't hear you, buddy. Are you in Weston? I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Hi, Daniel.
Okay, yeah, I didn't realize I didn't realize it was muted.
That's okay. So, Peter, the floor is yours. What is your takeaway from what you've discovered today? Is there anything?
Well, yeah, I discovered it's going back to the basics. A lot of what you discussed is what we do, building rapport, like the conversation. So that makes sense. And then the first three steps, the curiosity, conviction, I mean, they flow together. So step 4 should happen automatically, and it should if it's done right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like tennis. Like you set up a strategy with tennis. I play tennis, and when you set up a strategy, you set up a different strategy, but that you're building I call it well, my mentors call it probability tennis. So by playing with a strategy in mind before you go out on the court, you already have a strategy in mind, and then you control the game. You have to control the game. So as the presenter, because we're presenters, we have to present. Knowing that, like, even like some of the questions you ask, they're rhetorical because you know the answer, but they don't know the answer. They don't know the question because you're controlling it.
Right.
So yeah, I found it flowed very easily, and your enthusiasm just yeah, people want to hire somebody that's gonna lead them to be confident and get them to their results.
No
And
doubt.
so if you're doing that with energy and enthusiasm, then obviously I see how you would be welcome in their home to give
Right.
the presentation. And after that, obviously you have to have the conviction, and you have to have the tools to get it done, right? It's one thing about presenting, but you have to deliver, right?
So true, so true, so true. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Peter. And this is great information that you're providing to us, a good feedback, and we want to see more feedback. So, does anybody else have feedback for us? Peter, thank you very much.
Sure, thank you. Appreciate it.
Pleasure. I look forward to seeing you in the growth call, buddy.
Yeah, sounds good.
Anybody else?
Had a question as well. How do you open the conversation when a buyer registers on your website? So I have added him here if he wants us to discuss that.
Yeah, please. I would love to discuss it because that's such vital. Yeah, please, please bring him up. Come on up, buddy.
Hello, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Yeah, just I wanted to see that, when people register as like a buyers in our pay-per-click ad for Google Ads, and they look for some homes, what's the best way when we call them and want to open the conversation and actually try to not make them to hang up, and what's the best way?
All right. And what's your name again?
My name is Ramin.
Ramin. And were you here when we first started?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And were you able to recognize what we were doing in the role playing that we played? Benisa, are you able to share back your screen again with that? And it should automatically, the whiteboard might still have it there. There was Crystal, some name, Crystal Matthew. Look, that. So, for example, your name is Ramin. Is that what you said?
Yes, Ramin,
Oh,
yes.
yes, Ramin. I remember you. Okay. Listen very carefully.
Sure.
Look at the screen. Do you see a name, a first name?
Yes.
Do you see a last name?
Right.
Okay. A telephone number. Is that, here's what you should do. You've got to be able to associate. It's a skill set. There's three types of ways for you to build rapport: association technique, mirroring technique, psychological reciprocity. You're starting out with a telephone number, a name, and an email. So you look real quickly. Do you know anybody from your heart? Do you know anybody named Crystal? Or does Crystal remind you of anything? From my heart, I said, I love the name Crystal because I always wanted a chandelier. I want a chandelier right now in my house. It's a true statement. I just don't know how to buy it. I went to look for one the other day, and it was like, it wasn't nice. It was a true statement. Matthew McConaughey. It's one of my best actors. I like him because he's pretty cool. He's a runner like me. I can associate with that. The 773, I don't know, but I could quickly look it up if I wanted to talk about 773. I don't know what area code that is, but I can also ask. I could say, hey, I've never heard of 773 area code. Where is that? I also associated with this prospect by saying, hey, not only is your name very nice and I like it, but I also like Rogers.com because my very good friend Indra is from Canada and her email was Rogers.com. If you watch this video over again and slow down, you're going to see what happened and how you should be focusing and dealing with these leads. Now, what is more important is this. Let's ask ourselves this. If you were here in the beginning watching this go through, what was standing in your way from grabbing it the first time? Were you driving? Were you not paying attention? What do you think?
Actually, I got it, but I for the buyer is a little bit, sometimes like they don't let us to go through these details. For example, as sometimes as soon as we introduce ourselves, they say, no, I'm busy right now, I call back later, or they say that, just they want to.
I mean, what you have to do is rewatch the video.
Sure.
What I demonstrated is a skill set that you need to develop. And what gave me this skill set was the book that I wrote. It's called The 5 Steps to the Sale.
Sure.
I learned how to connect with a person in as little as 60 seconds. You're talking 1 minute. I got them to like me, listen to me, trust me. And I also use techniques that ask their permission if it's a good time to talk or not. But I made them an opportunity they couldn't refuse because I said I had something that you want.
Right.
I said, you want to get a buyer for maximum price. And I have it. I know how to do it because I'm the best realtor in the community. I'm not lying. I'm not unethical. I believe I am the best realtor in that community and I have buyers. Am I lying? No, I'm not.
Right. Yeah,
Please be sure to set a growth call. But when you do come to the growth call, be prepared to get yourself in a better position that you are now. There's no need to waste any more time. But we thank you for being here. That was
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, well, my pleasure. My pleasure. Don't let it pass by you again because there's something there. Roman, you heard this once and then you had to hear it again twice. There's something blocking. We got to get that out the way. Who would be next? Because we're over. Oh my gosh, Benisa, we gotta be gone. Please, if you could stop sharing the screen. And anybody else? Oh, is the guy still here? Andrew, are you still here? I found a slide. If Andrew's still here, I'll give it to him. If he's not, I won't. Andrew.
Yes.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. So from one of our other presentations, here's the facts. You can see it. This is not for this. This is another presentation that we do. But yeah, this the facts. That's my agent ID right there. These are the numbers. So we're not here to lie to you. We don't, fake information, but we definitely know what we're talking about. And I appreciate you asking such strong questions. So
I also shared the webinar poll we did on expired listings with everyone. So if anybody needs it, just write in the chat and I'm going to send it to you as well.
there you go. Perfect.
Awesome. What? This is
Yay!
a great call. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. And
A lot, and I'm not even a realtor.
oh my gosh, I tell you, I learned too. Remember to set your growth call. Thank you very much, guys. It's in the link. And also get with Benisa because she has the scripts and she also has for you the leads, how to get those leads and training on handling the leads. But come to the growth call and we'll show you even more. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. And Benisa, don't forget Tammy because she needs the leads.
I want Tammy's on top of my to-do list.
I see you guys next time. Thank you very much. All the best. Thank you all.
Thank you. See you in a month. Bye-bye.
Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye.